Are we live? Are we live? I hope we're live because we've just had some records broke. I've been watching. Look at this. This is crazy. I've been looking at the day. I've been getting the updates and I'm like, should I go live? And I was like, no, don't worry about it. Look at it. 53.64. Is that a record? I mean, Gunnar Asmussen, 52.53. Brendan Loo, 75 kilos, has gone over 50 knots. Simon Pettifer has finally beaten his missus. He's gone 49 knots, and that means over a 50 knot peak. It is going on in Luderitz. I am here to bring you some videos. I'm going to get you some interviews. So if you are just tuning in, like I said, I'm trying to make Send It Sunday here. I didn't make it last weekend. And now I'm stuck because Luderitz Speed Challenge is going off. Send It Sunday is on hold because the guys in Luderitz are absolutely sending it. My internet looks like it's on its last legs. What is going on? Why am I dropping down on this internet everywhere? Hopefully you can hear me. Let's try and get some videos from over in Luderitz. Let's see. What have we got? What's first up? If you're tuning in, welcome. Hopefully we can manage to sort this out. Again, this is fully last minute. I wasn't expecting to go live, but things are just happening. I will update on what I've already said because I can see there's new people joining the chat at the moment. We do have Francois, Brendan Loo's dad is out there and he's sending me some videos right now. So let's have a look what we've got from over in Luderitz. This is definitely going to be a bit loose, this stream. Right, let's have a look what we've got. Here he is. Wow, he looks serious, doesn't he? That's not the places I want to just smash. Why not? Come on. Let's have a look. He is the man, isn't he? What an absolute legend. What a legend. What does he say on his watch? That's the question. Well, a bit underwhelming. I was expecting him to be punching the sky or something. Is that a new world record? At the moment, let me just switch over to the tabs. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes I mess this up, but this is what we're looking at the moment. We've just had Gunnar Asmussen go 52.33, but Albeau has been putting in a few 53s at the moment. So that's pretty ominous. That's what it was like when he first broke that world record. 53.31. He's done a 53.64 and a 53.28. I mean, that feels like the world record is definitely gone today. There still needs to be checked on the video timing, so maybe that's why he's not. He's excited. But Antoine Albeau looks like he has broke his own windsurfing world speed record. That is what's on the table at the moment. Brendan Loo has gone over 50 knots, 75 kilos. He's done 50.69. That's a hell of a run. He said, there's an interview with him. Let me play that interview now because I listened to that earlier. Apologies, I'm a little bit all over the place because this was not planned. If you are waiting for Send It Sunday, Send It Sunday is on hold. We've also heard Caro has broken her South African world speed record as well. So the records, I should say, are falling. We've got the start of Albeau's run. We've also got Simon Pettifer has broke his best. Everything is going on right now. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Videos coming in. Who's tuning in? Let me know where you're watching from. Who's this one? Let's have it. We'll just play them through. This is the Albeau one. Okay, we've already seen this. Nothing really happens. Quite underwhelming. Maybe that wasn't his world-breaking run. We've got.
How was this run,
Brendan?
It's probably my best run I've ever done. Had an amazing start and pushed all the way till the end, till after the camera today. So I managed to finally get the 50 knots on the 500. Extremely happy with the run. Just
let's have a look.
never give up. One moment in the run there was a small hole, but I kept pushing through it just to get the 50 on over the 500.
Congrats, keep pushing.
Thank you.
There we go. So Brendan, let's have a look at that watch. I think we should have a little pause, see if we can see what that looks like. Yeah, 51.88 max speed. Is that something like that? That's impressive, man. Over 500 meters, 50 knots, joins the 50 knot club. There's still not many people in that club. So at 19 years old, 75 kilos, impressive stuff. Right, what other videos have we got for you guys? We have got this. Looks like Caro broke the South African record. I mean, she has come back from injury. It's really impressive to see what she's done. You know, not the biggest rider out there, but she is absolutely loving it. Really cool to see. Never give up. That's the motto. If you want to share this screen for me, it would be a pleasure, because I have no advertising. So if you are in any windsurfing groups, Facebook or whatever, feel free to share the link to this YouTube video. This is Caro South African record gone. There we go. Cheers. Right. What else have we got? We got videos coming in all over the shop at the moment. This is the start of Albeau's world record breaking run. Look how windy that is. Looks perfect, doesn't it? Good start. Gets himself comfortable. It looks like he's on the new Neil Pride now, so maybe on the custom board. He actually was using the production board the other day, which is, wow, look at the speed. Look at the freaking entrance speed. The start looks better today. They were complaining it was quite gusty the other day, so I'm guessing that means it is good today. Who have we got up next?
TV, mate! Well done! Woohoo! 49! Oh, I'm so happy! I'm so happy! Yeah!
5-0. So there we go. Simon Pettifer. Finally, also I heard on the watch he's over 50 knots. And I know from personal experience that's a big one. And now he's got 49. He'll be going, you know what? Why not 50 over 500? That'll be his next goal. He's a big fella. We know he's fast. He took a little bit of time to adapt to the channel, but now he looks like he's feeling it. So really cool, man. Francois, I've got to say, I'm just seeing the comments coming through, is a legend. Yes, he is filming over there and sending these over. I think he struck a bit of a deal with the organizers. And I think I said to him, why don't you just say to Rafi, look, if you do a bit, maybe they can help you, you know, with Brendan, because it's an expensive trip. If you could put in some video stuff, I can help out this side. It's definitely working. So massive big up to those guys. VMAX from Brendan is 94.45 apparently. I mean, that's a 75 kilo bloke. Wow, interesting. I mean, really cool. What have we got here? Down the track, little 4G, so foggy due to the wind blowing everywhere. Yes. What have we got here? We've got another video to. Oh no, we've already got that one. He's sending some videos through. So if you are out there, you've just tuned in. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to do a little refresh just in case there is any updates on that. But what are we seeing right now? We are seeing some absolute massive speeds over in Luderitz. We are seeing, look at that, 53.64. If that goes with the video timing, that's a new world record for Antoine Albeau. Gunnar Asmussen in the mid 52s. Brendan Loo just said 75 kilos up into the 50 knot club. Not many people in that 50 knot club. Thanks, mate. Cup of tea on the go. We're ready. We're watching. Simon Pettifer is close to joining that 50 knot club. I have a feeling he's going to do it. I think he's worked it out. He's gone over 50 on the watch. So really cool to see Pettifer up there. And finally, he's faster than yours truly. Otherwise, I was going to rip him for a good while. Jenna Gibson, not broken her world record, but gone over 47. And Caro von Tonda, 46.12. Super quick from Caro von Tonda there. She's going to be absolutely made up with that speed. So really cool, man. Like I said, Send It Sunday is on hold. I was just about to record the talking, and I've got a little bit of an update from Francois, what was happening with Brendan and everything. Well, that's all out the window now, isn't it? Because we are live from Luderitz. So bugger. Send It Sunday is delayed, but real Send It Sunday is going on right now in Luderitz. Simon Pettifer, you know, he's got to be up there, isn't he? Got to be up there around a ton, 100 kilos, something like that. He is on a 5.0. So it is blowing, and it is blowing tomorrow as well. I was planning on going live tomorrow. I thought today could be a bit of a warm-up day, but as you know, if you've ever been to Luderitz, sometimes those days that aren't as crazy can actually deliver if the angle is good. So yes. What we've got on? We've got it's purple tomorrow. Yeah, the purple one is a 5.3 apparently. Well, on the one he was holding was said 5.0. But yeah, okay, 5.3, 5.0. Thanks for going live. Good to share it with the other fans. Yeah, no worries. I was obviously getting some messages, and I was like, yeah, it's under control. I'm following it, but I'm trying to make a video here, and I was going to kind of not do it live and kind of make a produced video, but it's too much. When you've got world records going, we have to be live. That, you know, there is definitely a case for going live right now. So it is a bit last minute. As I look up, I see Mr. Paul Van Bellen. Hello. Hello. Anybody there? Hello. I think he's just there. Is he okay?
Oh, Benny.
Sorry, you look like you were just standing there frozen on my screen.
I was. I thought I'd keep you company, Benny.
Cheers, man.
Until somebody more qualified steps in.
Well, no worries. I think it's all about the chat right now. I mean, have you been following the speed at all?
Well, just your last stream you did. Yeah, that was super cool.
Hang on. Let me just get my piece of paper. Hang on.
Piece of paper. So look, for everybody out there, I'm just an absolutely casual observer of speed sailing. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but that's maybe good because I could probably ask Ben a few questions for something I don't understand.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I got my notes from Send It Sunday, which I was going to put in the show. Brendan had a 52.17 VMAX. I mean, that was the other day. And now he's obviously set and over the 50 knot club. And this is quite relevant, I think, because I spoke to you yesterday about your event that you've got going on in Australia, which is the Wave Rally, obviously. And you said you've got 3 weight categories: light, medium, and heavyweight or super class. You know, I can't remember the weights, but I remember you saying the lightweights was kind of getting much bigger than the other classes. And this goes with what I've been banging on about for ages. Like, weight category is a big thing. When you've got all these lightweights wanting to race and wanting to do speed, it's nice to have a hero. So Brendan Loo is our new hero. 75 kilos. He's obviously got some weight on, like extra weight, which does make a difference because he's probably about 10 centimeters taller than me. But it's still interesting. I think it's definitely interesting for me to see a lighter weight rider bust over the 50. Is he the first rider who is 75 kilos or low 80 kilos to go over 50 knots? I think he might be.
I have zero idea, but you'd probably imagine he would be. And that's super cool, isn't it? Yeah, the lighter weight thing. Yeah. I mean, you're asking about the lightweight. You know, so far I've got 55 registrations, and out of the 55, I think there's about 24 or 25 that have said they're under 80 kilos. So yeah, there's definitely a big lightweight contingent out there that are keen to to race. So
yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. And I think, you know, obviously you put in the young guys, a lot of them before they grow properly will be lightweights. And I think that lightweight category, you know, when you follow any of these professional sports and stuff, it's not about age. It's more about, because you can't do it on age because some people grow faster than others, you know, so it is difficult. Those kind of age categories, and weight is probably more apparent. But interesting, if you have just joined us, let me just go through what we've seen already. Antoine Albeau potentially has basically smashed, because when you do 0.3 better than the original world record, which is his own world record, that's pretty much smashed. 0.3 at that speed is quite a good jump. I mean, he's only 0.4, and I know that's what he'll be aiming for now, is that 54 knots, which is 100 kilometers an hour. So I think that will be his new benchmark, to try and get that 100 kilometers an hour over 500 meters. That'll be a huge achievement. And can he do it? Well, you wouldn't bet against the big man.
53.9957 is 100 kilometers an hour. So he's a 0.3 off. But there's a big day. I mean, the other day we thought that was a world record, or you thought it was a world record, obviously, and then it got scaled down. But this one, one looks a bit more solid, huh?
I think it feels better because you see a 50, you see like 50, 51, 51, and then 53, 53, and 53, and then a 52. So you're like, you know, the other day it was kind of a little bit of an anomaly. It sort of stuck out on its own as one run, whereas this felt like there was definitely more to it. There's a couple of jumps at it there, because the 53.31 would be a new world record. The 53.64 obviously would be a new record, and the 53.28 would be a new record. So in theory, he's broke the old record 3 times. You would imagine one of those will be enough.
You would think so. What's the difference in conditions today over the other day? Have you got any idea? I'm assuming it's just windier, is it? Or
I think maybe when I was watching the other day, a lot of the complaints were coming from the start. The start was really difficult, not easy to get the start. And when you watch this start, which I played from Antoine before, I'll see if I can do it now. It looks cleaner, better. Like there's a nice bit of breeze. You watch how quickly, this was his world record breaking run. When he goes around the corner, he's really comfortable, and you've got to be going over 50 plus at that start bit there.
When you're hitting that line, Benny, you're still accelerating through that start line, or?
Well, yeah, that big surge. Okay, video's dropping through. That big surge. If you want to go over 50, you have to be over 50 at the start. So to do 53, you've got to be, I would guess, up that upper edge, 53 probably, because that's where you get that boost. And then you carry that speed all the way through. And then at the end, there's a bigger gust. And then maybe you can max it out towards the end, and you have to go through the line. It's very hard to carry on with the power when you get towards the end, because the ground is getting, the beach is getting closer to you. And I heard Brendan say that in the interview earlier that we played, where he just today focused on pinning it all the way through the line. You can sometimes back off a tiny bit, and that tiny bit will be the difference. So, yeah, interesting. And probably maybe a few less riders on the course today, easier to do some laps. I've got some videos dropping in as we speak. Super strong wind at the moment, apparently. Oh, this looks good. We're going to get some action videos dropping in, courtesy of Francois.
Let me have a
4G apparently is really bad, so they're going to be lower quality. Let me just...
Have you had a chance to look at the wind forecast today for Luderitz?
Yeah,
is it picking up still?
Purple, it's like the same the other day, and a little bit more tomorrow, it says. He's going down the end to film from there. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay, so we've got a few videos to drop in now. Let's have a look what we've got.
According to...
It does look windy, man.
That's it. Sand is flying. Stones flying. It's insane. The wind picked up now over the last 10-15 minutes. It's insane.
It's crank. It is cranking.
God, it's such a sick setup, isn't it? I love the fact that people out there have just dedicated a big chunk of their time to dig out a ditch.
Look at that. That is just
so cool.
insane.
Oh, wow. Mate, there's just to white cap over such a short fetch of water. That's how you know it's windy.
That's
wow.
Bonkers, man. We got one more video.
Yeah.
And then it might be the same, actually, this one.
Good. So who's doing these videos?
Brendan's dad. Antoine. Caro Tonda wants it all. Getting a bit loose.
Wow.
It looks quick today. It looks quick.
That looks like sick conditions, doesn't it? Wow. I'm just looking at Wind Guru, and it's saying that it's peaking at 4 o'clock. So what time is it there now?
It's 2 hours, 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So it might even pick up a little bit more.
Yeah. So sometimes that's not faster, but we will find out.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying that on the start line. Are you still accelerating though through that start line? I mean, you said you've got to be hitting 50 knots to get those records, but are you actually hitting the start line at potentially a max speed, or it's kind of impossible to do that just because of the way the start set up?
No, the sling. It's all about the slingshot. You need a good start. You need a good slingshot. You know that's where you get that burst of acceleration, and you have to be near max speed or high speed right you got to go over that start line at max. Like if you're going over 50, you have to be pretty much on 50 on that start, because then you've got to carry it and then you'll get the boost at the end. So I'm only guessing if he's doing 53, I'd love to see the GPS track. Anyone out there who's studied the tracks and stuff, let me know. But when I was there, we studied them to kind of work out how it looks. And it was basically that slingshot got you right up to the top speed. Then you might hold it. There was maybe a little bit of a lull in the middle sometimes. And then you get this real big burst at the end, which is when you kind of finish it off. And you need those things to all line up to get a perfect run.
Okay. Because some of the videos I've seen in the past, it almost seemed like, you weren't hitting that start line at max speed and you're accelerating down the course. But maybe that's just the perception of what it looks like. But
apparently Gunnar Asmussen with a German record. Just reading in the comments.
Wow. That'd be quite a big
Gunnar
record
Asmussen,
too, wouldn't it?
52.83. He's knocking on the door, isn't he? He's knocking on the door. Is anyone going to let him in?
Yeah, well, that's God. So we might see the 54 knot barrier broken today.
This is pretty cool. If we get over 100K, that's huge, and I'm sure that is what Albeau is looking for.
It's hard to comment on this when I have zero idea what it's like to go that fast. I did ask you in a text last time what it's like to go 50 knots, but is it actually pretty scary on that channel going 50 knots, or is it?
It's not scary until it goes wrong.
Okay. Okay. So when
well, it's like anything. Have you ever been in a car crash?
Not a serious one, no.
Okay, so for me, it was a bit. I've been in a minor car crash, but it's a bit like that. Everything feels great. Everything feels fine. You're going really, you're going fast or whatever, or even if you're just going around corners, but you're kind of pushing it on whatever it might be, and then when it goes wrong, then you realize, oh shit, it really goes. That goes wrong really fast. And it's a bit like that with the speed. You are like, it's just exhilarating. You're in that moment. And you're not really thinking about anything else apart from if you get a lift or if the board starts crabbing towards the other side, like it just kind of levitates, as I wanted to call it. That's how it felt. And you start shit yourself, or something weird happens, or you get a big gust, you unhook, you spin out. Those are the things that when it kind of gets scary. But when you're in it, when you're doing it, it just feels like you're just there. That's how it felt for me anyway.
Feels pretty. Yeah. Okay. No, because the only time I've experienced anything quite like that is I've been on a speed course in Victoria. It's called Sandy Point. Do you know Sandy Point? It's a but I didn't have a speed board. I just had I had a single fin board, but because the board wasn't designed for speed, as soon as you're hitting its max velocity, the thing started getting all shaky and dodgy. But that's just because of the board, so it feels a bit hairy. But
well, interestingly,
I've never actually used a speed board or.
That's the difference with a speed board or with a, let's say with a slalom board or normal board, you reach like this speed where the board feels like it's not going to go much quicker. Where with a speed board, it doesn't have that. It's more down to the sailor's skill or the conditions which stop it, rather than, like certain free ride boards or free move boards, they feel like they get this top end stop. Can't really get it much quicker. With a speed board, you just need distance and time and wind and whatever, and just keeps going.
Okay.
But so it looks like Gunnar will have broke that German record, and he's been trying to bust that for a while. That record's been held. So Gunnar Asmussen looks like he has done the German record. Again, all these things that are happening now, the world record from Antoine, they still need to be verified and checked with the video timing. If they pass the video timing, there is a very good chance that it will be officially record, but then it has to get ratified by all the right organizations, and they make sure, everything, all the protocols were followed and all this sort of stuff. But that's kind of the minor details and takes a while. But what we're really looking for is later on today, when they go back through the video, like they did the other day with Jenna Gibson, and it makes that adds up to the right speed. When that breaks it, that's pretty much an official record. It just needs to be ratified then. But the video, the video timing is what it's all about. So this at the moment is a good estimate of what it is. But as we saw with Albeau's record the other day, it got marked down. But I think today, because we've seen so many 53s in a row, and then he's kind of blown it with a 0.3 above, I feel like this is a new world record. And interesting, had some different gear today. I spoke to him the last couple of days. And he's been trying out his custom stuff and some new sails, because he didn't want to blow it on the best. He didn't want to practice and tune stuff on the first windy day. He wanted to make sure he had something in the bank. And then once he'd kind of pushed that to the max, I think he thought, okay, now's the time to try the new stuff, get it dialed in and see where I'm at with that. And it obviously looks like it's going well.
This comment here: why is video timing different to GPS timing, Benny?
I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but GPS is satellites beaming down and recording it, whereas video timing is that's the distance, that's the time it took from that to that. It's down to a point whatever of a second, and that's the official timing they have to take. What I've heard before is, because obviously how they do it, they have a stick for the start where the video starts and a stick at the end where the video finishes, and these are all linked, onto a screen. But you can, let's say you go faster before the start or faster after the start, and then faster before the finish or faster after the finish. You're 500 meters, on the GPS, you can break 50. Let's say we're trying to break 50. You could break 50, but if you didn't do it in between the sticks, let's say, it won't be as much. But on your GPS, you might actually break it because you did it at a different part of the course. Not that there's a big difference, but I know O'Sheen told me that. Like, I think it was O'Sheen. He broke the 550 on his GPS, but it was further down the track. So he reached, his peak speed was a bit later after the start, and then he carried it through the finish a bit further. So if it had been in a different place, the sticks, he would have been officially over 50. So that was a bit gutting, because I think he did something like 49.99 or something ridiculous, which is kind of hard to take when you're trying to break 50.
It's a bit of a setup, isn't it, to get all the cameras and the cable work and the whole thing. It's something that you don't really get a full appreciation when you're watching these guys, flying down the channel, isn't it? There's a bit of infrastructure they needed to do all this.
Yeah, for someone to have to organize this and do it, it is a mission. You've got to dig the thing. You've got to get it right. You've got to organize all the time. And it costs a lot of money, But this is realistically the only place that we've seen records broke. This is now the place. I don't think there's anywhere else in the world at the moment with the infrastructure anyway to do it, or we haven't seen that it can be done. I think, you know, Le Palme in the south of France probably could get something like this, but with all these kind of people against digging trenches and making something happen, it's not ever going to happen, I don't think. Whereas it's definitely happening up there.
Do you know if Antoine's using his 5.7 or?
No, I think he's on the smaller one. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he's on the smaller one today. Because the other day he was on, yeah.
I sent him a message, so I'm hopefully going to get something back. But obviously he's busy doing runs, but sometimes he's coming in, checking the phone and stuff. So he did say send him a message and he'll do his best to kind of give it out. But I'll try and get some info. But
the other day he was using 5.7, right?
Yes. But obviously, the biggest sail you have, I mean, for people who are into speed, it's obvious, but some people don't know this. You know, the smaller sail, the less drag, and it makes a big difference. If you can go smaller fin, less drag. Smaller board, less drag. Smaller sail, less drag. One-sided boom, less drag. You know, and at these speeds, with this sort of tiniest of margins, that bits of drag make a huge difference. You know, there's talk about, you know, Eric Beale, we were talking about him before, you know, another lightweight who's been trying to get past 50. I don't think he made it past 50 in the end, but he was definitely the one leading the way. And I always love to watch his videos explaining what he was trying to do, because I find it super interesting, you know, maybe not doing the biggest speeds compared to the big guys, but when you're a lightweight, it was kind of more interesting for me. So yeah, no, it's super cool. Just looking at some stuff coming through.
Just anybody listening too, apologies if there's a bit of delay. When you speak and then I speak, Ben, I get a bit of a delay. So if I talk over the top of you, apologies.
No worries. Oh no, Yupster's got a broken ankle. How do we do that?
Ooh.
But good to see you tuning in. I was thinking, right, just going live now, I did make me think maybe I could do a live Send It Sunday, you know, like just do, rather than record it, I'll just do a live one and we just play the videos and then we join in laughing at some of the stuff, because there's a great clip which actually would be pretty good for this, with one of the guys on a season just laughing.
Well, are you going to do it or?
Well, I mean, I'll stick to Luderitz, but I thought as a separate show, Send It Sunday Live, we could probably do one week.
I see what you're saying.
Where we just, you know, send in. Although I am tempted to play a video where we've got a bit of a down bit at the moment.
Yeah.
Apparently, not everyone wants to go 50 knots on a windsurfer. Well, yeah, I think it's okay. So it's an answer to this question. It's an answer to why only 11 riders entered. Surely every brand would have their best sailors there. Where are all the sailors? I mean, you got to remember, it's got to make sense. So these guys are probably on their own personal missions. You know, I think some people have life goals, and maybe Luderitz is a one-off. Sometimes people go every year. You know, they got the sponsors or outside sponsors usually to make this happen. Some people are not necessarily care that it's on record, you know. Some people want to break personal records. Some people want to break national records. And some people, like I say, it's just a life goal. Go to Luderitz and go as fast as you can. But it isn't for everyone. You know, some people don't care that it's on record. But I think it definitely should be better supported, but it does need outside sponsors. I think, you know, the brands are not going to sell a load of kit off here just because someone goes over 50 knots. I think it's good image for the brand, definitely. But are they going to sell loads of speed sails now? Well, maybe not. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think at home. But I think, you know, for windsurfing, we need to be pushing these records. It's nice to know who the fastest guys are in the world, but it is an expensive trip. And I'm sure, you know, that is a barrier to entry, 100%. A new real record again? Or is someone saying, have we just got an update? Let's have a look. Are we getting closer to that 54? No. Okay, so it's still the same as before. So if you are just tuning in, Antoine Albeau has unofficially broke the world record again, and he's broke it 3 times today. So we kind of feel like one of these, when the video timing checks it, will be official. We'll have to wait for that, and that'll come in tonight. But at the moment, it's 53.64, his fastest time over 500 meters. So I can only imagine the peak speeds of that must be insane. Gunnar Asmussen looks like he's broke the German national record, 52.83 unofficially. Brendan Loo has officially broken the lightweight 50 knot barrier. I think he might be the first guy under 80 kilos to go over 50 knots officially on the timing. We'll have to wait and see what that comes in at, but that's what I couldn't say unless anyone tells me any different. Simon Pettifer has broke a personal best here, gone 49 knots, and he's gone over 50 on his GPS, which I know was a personal goal for him. Plus, he's finally beat the missus. The missus is below. Jenna Gibson, obviously, is the new fastest woman in the world. And actually, she's just done a 47.65. Is that a new world record? That could be an upgrade on her previous world record. Wow.
Well, I was just looking because the other day she did 47.36. So if that's ratified,
and then Caro von Tonda has broke the South African record, 46.32. So literally everybody there has had a personal best today. Wow. It's a fast day. I think it's safe to say it's a fast day. Wow. I do have some videos. I'm going to play a couple from earlier just to sort of set the scene, just in case you've just tuned in. This is Albeau coming back from his winning run. He looks in Terminator mode, doesn't he? He's like, I think he just that much. We also had
the run.
Brendan Loo.
How was this run?
It's probably my best run I've ever done. Had an amazing start and pushed all the way till the end, till after the camera today. So I managed to finally get the 50 knots on the 500. Extremely happy with the run. Just never give up. One moment in the run there was a small hole, but I kept pushing through it just to get the 50 on over the 500.
Congrats, keep pushing.
Thank you.
19 years old, 75 kilos.
What a
This
cool.
is Caro von Tonda, South African record. Forty-six 12.
Well, she's got the sort of neck raised back protector.
This is the start of Albeau after this run, apparently. You look at the slingshot round the corner. There's the start there. So that's
The young kid, he's a nice kid, isn't he?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah!
Simon Pettifer, 49 knots, finally beats the misses. Like I said, he's gone over 50 on the watch, on the 5.0, and Si's a big boy. So really cool. I mean, this is what sums up Luderitz.
UPV, mate! Well done! I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah!
Yes, that's what it is. You know, it takes the time to get used to the channel. You go there thinking, you know, I'm quick, I can do this, but it takes a little bit of time to get it dialed in. It looks like he's got it dialed in now. and really cool to see Side pushing his PB right up there. I'm sure he's aiming for 50 knots. And then we've got this. This is exactly how the channel is looking right now.
Stone's flying. It's insane. The wind picked up now over the last 10-15 minutes. It's insane.
This is again, channel. Look at this white cat for about 4 meters of water. Cranking. And then this is Caro gone Honda heading down the channel.
That's gnarly.
Yeah. So
that's way gnarly. That's way gnarlier than it looks. Sorry.
Oh man, it like I say, when you're locked in, you're going, but you just need that one moment, and it. Oh no, I thought that was Carol, man. 46. But that is the speeds of the day. Everybody on that list has upped their PBs. They've broken national records or world records, every one of them. So that's obviously the fastest day we've had on the channel for a long, long time. To see all those broke in one day is pretty epic. Pretty epic indeed.
Well,
so
this is going to be the best day in the history of windsurfing at Luderitz or anywhere. In that case, I mean, the men's broken, women's broken, isn't it?
Yeah, everything gone. Everything gone. Every rider there,
crazy.
All 6 riders have done, everything better than before.
Amazing.
Insane.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
On that list, fastest man in the world, fastest woman in the world, fastest lightweight in the world, on paper. Fastest South African. We've got fastest German. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And so
the other thing,
he's up himself. Yeah.
The other thing is that trip back. I mean, you'd know, Benny, but the trip going back up the course on the back of the car looks as gnarly as going down, isn't it? I mean, you're basically going into a bit of a headwind, trying to hold all your gear. That'd be a challenge on itself, wouldn't it?
It's full on. I can only say, I mean, for people who don't know, I've been to Luderitz. Obviously, people watch the channel, they'll know. And I've wound people up before because obviously I kind of went over 50 on GPS. And there's a lot of guys out there that are faster than me, but they've never been to Luderitz. So on paper, I'm faster than a lot of people. I know I'm not, but, on paper, I'm faster. So I do wind a few people up. So, and again, when you go to Luderitz, you don't know if you're going to get that day. You don't know if you're going to get a good day. There's been people going for the last 4 years or whatever years and haven't had a day like this day. This day obviously is fast because everybody is upped. So sometimes the course is better, the angle of the wind is better, the wind comes in better, whatever the magic ingredients is, you don't know when that's going to be, what day that's going to be, what time that's going to be, what year that's going to be. And the only way is to be there ready and waiting. And that is massive in itself. The commitment to do that deserves the reward as well. Because if it was a place we could all just turn up to whenever we wanted, it wouldn't have this feel about it. There's, I think that's what you see. Don't want to get philosophical, but in life, it's general, it's like Instagram videos. There's like millions of them dropping out all over the place. So now it doesn't feel that great. Whereas back in the day when you waited for that video to turn up, the VHS in the post, and you put it in, and you'd watch it to its death because you knew there wasn't another 50 million videos around. It was, people think they want more. And sometimes I think more is not always what you want. Same with me when I drop videos on the channel. People want more, you drop more, but actually it usually ends up being worse. You're better to build up, create something solid and then do it. And I think that's why I like the Luderitz Speed Challenge. It's like once a year, we don't know if you're going to get it. There's a lot of tension, a lot of expectation. And sometimes it doesn't deliver, which makes when it does deliver even better. So, there'll be few people out there that's been making the trip and haven't made it this year or haven't made it the last 2 years, kind of went, it's not going to happen. No one's going to break that record. And then you see days like this and you're like, shit, I should have gone this year. So yeah, I like it. It's good for windsurfing. Really is. Like, there's no two ways about it, We've had a shocking year for wind. I've been speaking to a few friends, and a lot of people saying, "What the hell's going on with the wind?" And you wouldn't have thought it makes that much difference, or maybe you would, but in general, you've got to remember, like, makes a huge difference if we have a windy year for the brands to sell gear, and the brands selling gear is to do with sponsorship, to do with new gear, to do with everything. The whole industry feels it if we don't have a good year of wind. So I really hope we get a good year of wind in 2025, or at least end this 2024 with a good bit of breeze.
Where are people saying there's no wind? Which part of the world you're talking about? Well,
I spoke to a friend in the UK, so it's been shocking. I know Europe's had a little bit of a spell recently, but their normal autumn, where you get the warmth from the summer still carrying through, and then you get the waves and the wind of the autumn, early autumn, that didn't happen. Like Denmark and places like this, it just didn't come through as they usually would have had it. And that kind of builds the excitement. I know from the brands, that's usually when they get a bit of a boost of gear, because you need more. If you just have a couple of windy weekends, that doesn't motivate some people who have, clicked into family life, or they've started mountain biking because the wind's been crap or whatever. They're waiting for the wave stuff maybe, and it doesn't kick in. Then it's easy to lose people, because obviously you live in Australia, which is a bit different because your season is pretty well defined. But still, you can have shit seasons, even if it's
No, for sure. Look, it has been a bit patchy here as well at times, but no, I can only imagine, a consistent windy days, and all of a sudden your mind's on windsurfing, isn't it, and buying gear. So the other thing is, obviously. Oh, sorry, Benny, you go.
No, sorry. I was just going to say we're waiting. Brendan's dad, Francois, has gone down the other end of the channel, so we will be getting more video footage. He's gone down the bottom end to film, so just in case you're looking for some more Luderitz updates, we're just keeping the line hot while we wait for those updates to come through. But carry on.
Yeah, no, legendary work to stand out there. And what's the wind strength at the moment? Do you know?
It's got to be 50 odd, isn't it? It's got to be.
Wow, standing in 50 knots. It's not that comfortable. Yeah. Wow. No, well done. Well done. Thanks to that's amazing that he's bringing us that footage. But I saw the excitement there, on Simon's face, and just it's easy to sit here and when we're all sitting at home in the comfort of our chairs watching it, but it just sounds like a mission to get to Namibia in the first place. Then you've got just day in, day out trying to get out there and get it done and go back and forth and 50 knots of wind, and it's like climbing a mountain, isn't it, and getting to the top or something, some kind of something like that, where you have to put a lot of effort in just to get somewhere, isn't it?
It's an insane place. Like if you've ever watched the Idiot's Guide to Speed that I did when I did my Luderitz trip, I mean, it's a fair few videos, but there's like 3 parts or something like that, kind of covers my whole experience there. I think those videos, Alfie did a good job of just summing it up because he filmed everything. But you can see the highs and the lows and how it works. And just seeing Sai then, which, he's not broke a national record, not broke a world record, but PBs and just doing it and trying to achieve a goal is what you want. That's it. And you could just see the smile on his face. It's not like you're trying to smile for the camera. You just can't get the smile off your face. No. It's just just happens. And this is the best. You're like, you just want to go, awesome. Yeah. And some people won't get it. There'll be a few guys out there that are into just groove riding, cruising around and going, why do you need to prove how fast you are? Everyone's got different things that motivate them. But I love setting myself a challenge, which is a hard challenge, and then trying to achieve it, whatever that might be, in everything. And some people are like that, some people aren't, I guess. But I can definitely resonate with Sai on that video. I felt that almost more than some of the other stuff, because you can just see how he's battled through it. He smashed his nose the other day. His missus has been beating him. He's probably been getting shit from all angles. And he's always pretty positive. So I love that. I'm just looking at the comments. Someone said, just came in. Are these numbers from today? Yes, they are. Everyone on that list, all 6 riders have upped their PBs. So some of them are national records, some of them are world records. In fact, The fastest woman in the world now, again, is Jenna Gibson. She's broke her current world record, which she's broke a few times now, previously held by Heidi Ulrich. She's basically smashed that up to about 0.6 higher. So Jenna Gibson looking to get that officially recognized. Antoine Albeau has broke the all-time world windsurfing speed record. This one looks like it will count because he's got three speeds there, which are all over his previous world record. So it's took him a while to get back to that. He hasn't done Luderitz for a few years. In the last couple of years, he starts to, retired from the PWA, taking his speed more seriously. And I think he's got a point to prove. I think he wants to go over 100 kilometers an hour, which is 54. He's not far off that. So that is that. Gunnar Asmussen, German record, 52.83 unofficially at the moment. Brendan Loo, 75 kilos. I'm going to keep mentioning it, but gone over 50 knots. So maybe the lightest rider to go over 50 knots. So yeah, Eric Beale was leading that charge, I would say, for the I'm going to say the under 80 kilos. It could be 75 kilos and below if you wanted it, but whatever. I'm kind of classing him as someone to kind of look at, and that's really cool to see. Pettifer has broke his personal best, gone over 50 on the watch. Jenna Gibson has said that, and Caro van Tonder, South African record. So yeah, pretty good day at the office right now.
Amazing. Is the gear, would you know of any improvements on the gear in the last year or two when it comes to speed sailing? Because, you sort of think that the gear is, what can they do or whatever? I mean, obviously they can always be tweaking things or whatever, but I mean, is there anything that you can think of that any developments in the last year or two with the speed gear that's been able to help them get these records? Or
well, for anyone who's been following this speed, they will know Antoine Albeau had obviously started this Zephyr project. And it was kind of a bit of a mystery. I didn't really think, he showed him in a speed tunnel. There was a lot of talk of going over 60, which seemed a bit ridiculous to me anyway. Just looking in, I was like, really? Is that an actual serious thing? They were talking about being on the foil, and we haven't heard anything of it. But maybe from doing all that stuff, they have done something with the gear they're on now. I mean, maybe they found out something. Again, it's a long way of saying I haven't got a clue, Paul. I don't know. But maybe, the sail or maybe something they have found, or the fin or whatever it might be. It wasn't their original idea was to, I don't think, improve on the fin project. It was meant to be some sort of foil stuff. But he has just broke the world record, and it's been a while since anyone's even really been up there. Vincent Valkner did famously kind of level Antoine Albeau's record, but it really came in at level, and it wasn't enough above, or it was super close, but it couldn't be a new world record. So he's been the one who's closest. It's a shame Vincent's not there, because that would be very interesting to see. He is definitely one of the guys that will be sitting at home right now thinking, I wish I was there giving it a go. There's quite a few Dutch fast guys, but they're not there this year. So I'm sure they will be getting motivated, because that's another thing. Once you see the world record go, you go, okay, it's possible. It wasn't an anomaly. It wasn't this thing that just happened once. You do need the conditions, but it's possible, as Antoine's done it. He's done it 3 times today. So there must be something that's happened, in terms of gear, you would imagine.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
I mean, to get the speeds to come up. It's a shame that obviously to run a speed event, it has to be in extreme conditions, which generally in places that most people don't actually want to be. Obviously it's a bit hard to get a crowd and 50 knots of wind. But my very limited experience with speed sailing, with speed sailing is like I said, it was at Sandy Point. It was back in 2004 when that area was apparently better than it is today for speed sailing, because apparently there's a bit more greenery that's grown, and a bit more of an obstruction to wind. But that particular time I was there, it went to 45 knots. And I have to say, it's still stuck with me to this day how memorable that was, standing halfway along that speed strip. It was 45 plus knots. It was a super strong wind. And watching someone, in this case, it was Chris Lockwood, go down that course. At the time, I think he did 44 knots or something, which back then, in 2004, was decent. Like, that was really good, especially that's like it's not a ditch, it's an open water course, so to speak, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I didn't realize how gnarly speed sailing was until you actually are in proper winds like that, because you can sit here and go, oh yeah, hits 50 knots, I'll give it a crack. But once the wind goes to like 40 knots plus, obviously the power of the wind grows in power exponentially. It's not like it's double the power from 20 to 40. It's like 4 times the power or something, So you're standing there going, even if someone handed me a sail on a board right now, I don't think I'd have the balls to actually go down this course because it's that powerful. Like I mean, I don't know, like that was something that I took away from it. That's why when I see these guys, if someone handed me Antoine's gear at speedboard and go, it's 50 knots, go out there, I'll tell you what, it's not. I would rather try and go in big waves than that. Or you know what I mean? Like it's
No, it's scary. It is scary, but it also. You got to have the confidence. You've got to have done some speed runs before. You have to.
I get that, but I'm just saying, it's like a newbie. You know what I mean? Like someone who can sort of just sail on a board, just up and down. But it's not. Yeah, it's not for, you know what I mean? It's something you got to build up to a bit. It's pretty gnarly.
I think I've got to show you this clip for Send It Sunday, haven't I?
Well, yeah, I don't know. What is it?
This will sum up like someone trying to go fast.
This will be me. If this is just a massive fail.
I'm going to find it because it is a classic. This was going to be the opening video for Send It Sunday. Anyone who's live now is going to get a sneak peek. But it's
exclusive.
Exclusive, exactly.
It's pretty. It's very strong. Sandy Point is quite similar to La Palme in France. Okay, I don't know. Here we are, world exclusive.
It's in Croatia.
Crash into the boat. Ow. Can we have a slow mo?
Hang on. Let me Antoine Albeau's ringing me. Hang on. Let me just let me send him a link.
Ringing.
Maybe I don't know how that's gonna work. Do you think
the man himself.
See if we can get him. I just sent him a link. Maybe he can do it.
Live.
Maybe we can get him live.
Shit.
I don't know if it's possible, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not sure how good the internet will be. We might have to just get him on the phone.
I wonder what he's ringing for. Isn't he doing more runs? What's happening?
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe he's giving us an update.
Ah. Can I control this video? Oh, I can. Yeah. Let's have a look here. What happened here? Let me. Oh, we've lost Benny. Uh-oh. Oh, well, I guess we wait now for Benny. I've lost all videos. Oh, here we go. Benny's back. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's
Benny,
happened.
What happened?
I don't know. I lost it all. I've lost everything. It kind of deleted itself.
Ooh.
Okay, he's not working. I'm going to have to ring him. Seamless, boys. Seamless.
This is what happens when it's live, isn't it? Unfortunately, I lost the video, so I can't show you a replay of that exclusive video.
Tune in to Send It Sunday.
I'll go back onto Luderitz Live and see if there's any updates. Luderitz.
See if we can get Albeau. No answer. Okay. I've lost everything. My whole thing reset. So basically, all the videos that I had lined up have all disappeared now.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. We still have each other, Benny.
Oh, here he is.
Oh.
Hey!
Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you and
Okay.
hear you.
So, what's up?
Awesome.
Good job, man. Good job. That is absolutely epic. 3 times you went faster.
Yes. No, actually, one time over. I don't know. I don't remember. But
3.
I have some good time. Now the wind is a little bit less. Brendan is going now on the run, so we will see what he's doing. But it was one moment that few runs that it was super smooth at the first part of the run. But we have a little, I call it the little coma there. You know, the sandbags are not really straight. They go a little bit upwind. So you arrive not in the middle of the channel, but you arrive more far from the bags, and it's becoming a little bit choppy. And this part is really hard to get it flat, you know. So I think the first part I have a peak of 45 on the GPS, and voilà quoi. So I had one run a little bit scary. I was going really fast, but I had a massive spin out in the middle of the of the run, and I almost finished to the downwind side.
Oh shit!
But
What
it
gear
was
you
okay.
on?
It was okay.
What gear you on?
I use the. I can switch the. No, I cannot switch. I use this.
What? Give me some numbers.
I'm on 5.3.
5.3.
I didn't put the 5.7 out. I wanted to try. I have a different 5.3. I have the blue one from L²deritz, the purple, and then the 2025, and the best one is the new one. So I went on the sale. I was feeling super nice. It was unbelievable because the beginning. I don't know if you saw my time, but I was not going very fast at the beginning, especially compared to Gunnar. But with that sail, I just put it there. I feel super confident. And the board is the old board as well. Is one of the first ones that Werner made for me, but it's more or less the same than the new ones. But I didn't put the production board because I tried that board and I was straight to 52, so I didn't want to change nothing. I don't want to go back to the production and try to mess around. You know, the boards are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Of riding. I will say that the production board is more like on the tail, and that board is more weighted surface, you know. But I think when the wind is strong like this, you can fly away. So I prefer to have stability than to ride on the tail, especially when you arrive at the second part of the run. That is really choppy. I prefer to be safe. So
what fin have you got?
I'm not gonna put my gear now.
What fin?
I use the UFO 19.
19.
Yeah, I use the fin from Pont Rouge, size 19.
And how windy is it? People are asking, how windy is it?
Listen, Pete Davis came to me. He was there at the corner on the downwind side. He told me when I passed, he was over 45 knots, but I don't know. I don't think so. It's 45. I think it's a little bit less. You know, because he's on the hill as well, so maybe he get more wind. It's windy. It's more wind than Wednesday. You see, Wind Guru, all the wind finder, they were predicting a little bit less of wind, and we have a little bit more. So, and the starting box is better. It's more constant. So we have more wind at the start.
Okay, interesting, man. Well, friggin' hell, good job. What's the next goal? 100K?
Man, I'm pushing like crazy. I want to go as fast as possible.
Is it possible?
I would like to do the 54 knots.
Yeah. Is it possible?
I think it's possible, yes. If you have a peak over 55.5. I didn't check my 250. I check now. 250. I'm slower than the other day. I'm 53.71, and the other day I was over 54.
Okay.
200 over 54 on the no, sorry. No, I'm 54.14.
So it's
54.
possible. It's possible.
It's
And
possible.
where's the quickest bit of the course?
For now, it's the beginning.
Beginning.
It's on Wednesday. It was sometime at the end, sometime at the beginning because of the gust of the wind. But today the wind was not constant. But the first part is really easy. Little chop, not tip, so you can fly over. It's super nice. The first part is amazing. It's really amazing. But the second part is difficult. It's super difficult. You don't know where you are going.
And have you changed the course this year? Because I heard you were working on it on the day off.
I was working a lot on the course. Yes, I find out that it was really nice when the bags are a little bit under the water, and you have water as well on the upwind side, because the chop is going away downwind. Is going away like this. But as soon as the bags are over the water, the line of swell, because this is little swell, is going to the wind, and that's what we have at the end. So and then the waves are breaking a little bit on the sandbags. So I try to put the bags with a little angle, like the boat ramp when you want to put the boat in the water like this. The waves are just breaking slowly on the side, but everything is moving. I went to check this morning, and man, I had to spend 1 hour on the bags there, and I didn't want to do it.
Okay. Bloody hell. Full on, man.
It's really sandy. It's like everything is moving, and the channel is moving every day. It's unbelievable. You cannot imagine. So it's the best would be to work every day on the thing. But it's hard because it's soft. The first part of the channel, this is kind of a super hard, muddy, dry sand, or I don't know what it is. And the second part is like kind of flour, sandy flour that when you walk, you what do you say? You step inside. It's like a
Sink
super
into
soft.
it.
Right. So that's why it's moving there. The first part doesn't move too much.
Interesting.
Antoine, it's Paul here. I've never actually met you before, but fantastic congratulations on last week. What do you think? Is there much you can do with the channel or any of the gear that you've got to improve your speeds much more over the coming years? I mean, what more can you do with that channel, or to make it even faster? Is there much more, or you think you've hit a bit of a limit with what you can do?
No, it's not. No, if we can make the second part like we have the first part, will be good. Will be super nice. Now, as I say, it's like if you go to the beach and you make castles, with your kids, and it's always move. It's super soft, so everything is moving. After with the gear, I think we make a really nice sail with Robert Soy from Neil Pride. The 5.3 is just amazing. And we make as well a super nice profile with the fin, with OFO fin, that we developed for the Zephyr project, and everything is flying, So I think if you follow a little bit, we were going faster with less wind. This is for sure. We were going 50 knots, or I don't remember the numbers now but we were going faster. Even the other day, I went 53 knots with the 5.7. I did that already in 2015, but it was more wind on that day. But I think we increased. We just need to have better surface of the water, and we will go faster. Everybody is going fast, huh? You see Jenna, she's flying.
Everyone.
And then he's flying as well. It's super nice. He did 50 today, so I hope we cross finger for him and for me that the time we stay the same. But
Well, on the list today, everyone has done a personal best, a national record, or a world record. Everyone.
Yes. It's super nice.
Really
I think
impressive.
the first part of the channel is just a dream.
Yeah.
You would love it, Ben. You would
I know.
love it.
Honestly, I'm getting like I saw Sai's interview because he looked happy because obviously Jenna's been beating him up until today. So now he's finally, put in a solid score. And the start line, I think that's exactly what I saw. It looks better today, less gusts or something.
Yes, but now I tell you, now it's way less wind. Huh? It's really less wind. We are playing a lot as well. The Manfred and the Rafi, they put like the wind direction, at the beginning of the channel, so we can see here at the little shade, like where they put the time,
Yeah.
and we can see the angle. So this is really nice because it goes from 2030 to almost 200 in degrees,
Yeah.
And I think the best is like not more than 218, 290. This is, and less. I think it can be good as well, but you need that the wind is open a little bit to accelerate. But then it's going now. You got the
But
good
that's early. That's early today, isn't it? That you've done the records. I mean, is that because the angle is good?
The wind came early. Yes, the wind came early today, and but I tell you now, since when I stopped, and now it's less. I can see in the starting box there. We will see what Brendan's going to do now.
Antoine, there's a question here from
46.7.
Okay, so it's dropping.
Sorry, Antoine. There's a question here from Eduardo Lopez. He's asking if your sales are they production sales?
No, I'm using it's the evolution of the new Evo slalom that we decided with Robert to make foot of the sail wider, like what I had in 2015 on some prototypes. And it seems that for the speed, it's working really well. It will be too big for the slalom sails, but the top part of the sail is the new Evo. So I'm pretty happy that the sail is working. I'm super confident. In that speed, you need to be safe, to be comfortable. If it's hard to ride, if the sail is too stiff, or you need a little bit of softness, you need a little bit that it is easy, easy rig. But the sail is good. I'm feeling really confident.
Forecast looks good for tomorrow.
Huh?
Forecast looks good for tomorrow too.
Exactly, yes. So some of the forecasts said that tomorrow is going to be a little bit more, and some say that it's going to be the same. So I don't know. We will see.
Okay. Good job, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keep it up.
I'm with my caddy here, Mimo.
Hello.
I heard Senegal national record holder.
That's cool.
It's super nice. In here, it's really nice to have someone that helping you, because you need to understand that when you finish, Ben, because you were here, but when you finish, you need to walk in the water, climb the side of the channel, jump on the trailer, hold your board, hold your sail, then you come back upwind with 40 knots of wind. You get the sand everywhere, and then you need to jump again at the starting. So it's really nice to have a caddy to help you to carry the board, carry the sail, and bring you the water. So it's really nice.
I mean, some people don't realize just carrying a speedboard. You would think, oh yeah, but it's only a speedboard. But even so,
it's almost harder than to go down the run. Huh?
Yeah, it's an absolute.
That's awesome.
All right, boys.
Well done, Antoine. Well done, mate.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck for the rest of today. Is it worth me carrying on live, or shall I get ready for one tomorrow? You think we're going to get another blitz?
Listen, you know the place, huh?
Yeah.
Now it is 3 o'clock, so I don't know if you can wait, because 3:30, 3:45, you always get a guess, huh?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait for that moment, because now it dropped, huh? It really dropped. Okay. So we see.
Well,
I don't know.
Whatever happens today, it's a good day's work. It looks to me like you've upped that record. We'll wait for the video stuff, but let's see.
I was feeling so sad the other day. You cannot imagine. When I got the message from Manfred, 52.98, I was thinking that he was joking. So,
imagine.
And we saw that I did the on my GPS at 53:41, and
Yeah.
I did that time 7 meters after the first camera and 7 meters after the finish.
Yes.
So I did that time a little bit after,
Yeah. I was
But
explaining that to people before.
the game is to do the time between the cameras.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll cross our fingers today. I'm sure you've got it. It looks like it will happen. So congratulations, man. Thanks for the calling.
Bye, Ben. Bye, Ben.
So
See you later.
I'll
See you,
call you
mate.
later if it's good again. See you.
All right. See you, man.
How cool is
Here we
that?
go. That works
that.
much better than expected.
Amazing. So good to hear from him right there in the channel. Was unexpected.
Yeah. So we've got a few videos popping through. Wind has dropped most on the shore now, he says, but there's a few videos coming through from Francois.
It's so good to hear from him, what his thoughts are on the day, isn't it? It gives you a much better appreciation for what's going on.
Yeah,
well, yeah, it's super cool. And he's caddy. How cool is that? It must be cool. I get a sense that when you're in Namibia and if you have a great day on the channel there, I can only imagine at the end of the day once they're all back at the hotel, probably a good feeling, I imagine.
You get down the bar. There's a pub in town which does decent food as well. And it's like it's a cool, when especially when everyone's had a good day.
Yeah,
it's like having a good wave session, but on steroids. Where everyone's happy.
Super cool.
Wow. That's an appreciation for the end. That's actually pretty cool to see.
It's so broad, isn't it, down the bottom there? Yeah. I would have liked to have asked him a bit more about what could be done to improve the water conditions. What's especially that last half where it starts to get a bit choppy. What can you do there?
Well, it's physics, isn't it? Is that the right word for it? Because at some point you've got to open it up, and you're going to get that rolling chop. So it's like Antoine says, the sand's moving. So that is a problem, because once you get it set, it might be good for a bit, but then it moves. And plus you get a lot of sand blowing into the channel as well. So I'm sure if that was a fixed thing and they could change stuff each year or each run and it would stay the same, you could, I guess, design something better. But, with it having to be moved every year and up and down,
it's tricky, isn't it?
And, maybe not as much cash. And, I guess that's the...
No, they do well. They do well. Have they done it before? I think they've done it. In swimming pools, you've got those plastic noodle things that are designed to cut down the wave action. Have they used stuff like that before?
I've seen them try and do that in Gran Canaria when Bjorn had this.
Oh, that's right.
And stuff, these wave breaker stuff. But there was talk about doing this on the channel, and there was a new system that people were coming up with. But at the moment, I haven't heard anything from it.
It's interesting from that angle. You see how they actually go. It's not a dead straight line. You sort of that last half, they sort of go up a little bit. You see that into that they tuck into that little corner. I guess
because I think that's
how they're cutting the chopper.
I think this is a bit new, because I think this seems a better idea, and it's proving to be that as well. But I thought it when I saw it the other day, because otherwise, if you go straight, then maybe the chop starts to build up and gets more. Whereas if you're coming back up a little bit, the chop hasn't had a chance to build up, so you can kind of cut up here. Because the difference between having it flat and a tiny bit of chop is huge. It's huge. Like some of the runs that feel crazy fast, like even when you're free sailing and you're smacking over the chop and stuff, and it feels crazy, are not as fast as those butter smooth runs, which don't feel, fast. Which is pretty impressive. But classic. Sure. Amazing to get Mr. Albeau on there. I wasn't sure the connection would be good, but that was clean, wasn't it?
So cool. So cool. Is there anyone else from there you can get on?
Yeah, well, it's a good point. That's worked.
Do you have Jenna's details?
Yeah, I got size, but he's not answering. So I don't know. It depends. I can try and send him a message.
It's a different. I know a lot of the speed sailors cross over into other aspects of windsurfing. Obviously, Antoine does wave sailing and slalom and so forth. But again, my little experience of speed sailing is there is a dedicated core group of people that focus their attention on the speed stuff, especially that GPS world. That's something that I'm not involved in, but that's quite a big aspect of. Like, there's a lot of people into that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The GPS thing. It's pretty. Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, I've been doing some stuff with these the waves, the water speed guys who are kind of setting some challenges. They also hook up, obviously, with the GPS speed sailing, which is the big one. That's what everyone's kind of part of that community if you're into GPS sailing. And I mean, it's amazing, really, because let's say you're sailing on your own. It's nice to have some record of what's going on, because if you're just blasting aimlessly up and down, that's good. But it's nice to have these kind of levels of, let's say you're on your 7.8 or your 8.0. If you're, it's nice to have those, what we call them, just levels. Can I do 30 knots on my 7.8? Can I do 35 knots? Can I do whatever? On your 6.0, obviously you're going to set up different records. So it's not just ultimate speed. You're setting kind of levels for different kit as well. And it also just keeps you focused on a session, if that's what you're into. I know there's going to be some people who are not into that, but I guess we are doing a speed live stream, so I'm guessing people are into that. But yeah, I think it makes sense. I like these challenges. Like I said, Water Speed have just started doing challenges, which will be a kind of a bit like a Strava type deal, and going to have course records for wherever you are in the world. So I've got to give them a shout out, because they're keen. They've been supporting a lot of Dunkerbeck stuff and a lot of other stuff. They're definitely keen to break in and to that thing, not just in windsurfing and other stuff, but they've been helping out, putting in a bit of money for some videos as well, which is always welcome. So they're good to sponsor the Luderitz Speed event, really, Water Speed.
Out of all the guys and women that in the PWA slalom tour, if you had to pick one sailor, in the women's and the men's, who you think would have the best chance, who would be the fastest down the channel, who would it be?
Say again, in the PWA?
Yeah, like if you had the slalom sailers,
so
if you had to choose, who do you think would be the fastest down?
I've got to think Bruno would be up there.
Yeah,
Bruno
he's big bloke, huh? Yeah,
he's an animal. I told him, I actually said to him this summer, I said to a few people, Jenna was also one of them, when she was mentioned, I was like, you got to go. You just got to go, because you don't know how long this event will run for. It's not a guarantee it happens every year. It has been happening, every year. Rafi's been doing a good job of making it happen, but there's no guarantee. Someone has to take on the responsibility and do it. And I'm sure it's not a massive money spinner. So I was saying to them, look, if you don't know, who knows how many years we've got left of this? Maybe it goes on for another 20 years, who knows? But there's no guarantee, is what I was kind of trying to get at. It's the same with a world tour. You don't know. Who knows? Unless someone's doing it, unless there's enough money to do it, you don't know. National is the same. If you don't support your national events, they might not happen again. It's a lot of effort. So I think, going back to your original question, I think Bruno is definitely one guy I was like, look, you've got to go. You've got to go. And it's like, oh, but I've not done this. I was just like, just go, because you first need to go to understand it sometimes. And sometimes you just click in, He obviously was sponsored by Neil Pride JP. Antoine's there. It wouldn't be in a bad time to go, I'm sure. So it's a shame. It would be nice to see what those boys can do.
And what about women?
What about women? Who is Jenna? I mean, that was obviously Sarah Keita, but I'm not sure she likes it that fast. She said it before, when it gets really windy, but then I think maybe she's got over that. But Jenna is definitely the one I was thinking is one of the quickest. We see it in the slalom. Sometimes her jibes has let her down, and I'm not saying her jibing's bad, because some of the conditions they have to jibe in is absolutely insane. But her straight line speed is probably one of the quickest, if not the quickest. And now she's kind of proved that because she is officially the fastest woman in the world. So
yeah. Also, I guess I was thinking someone outside of the people that are already there, but obviously Jenna's also doing the slalom.
Yeah, I mean, this is her first time. Remember, this is
is it first time?
She's
really?
never done
that's
speed
cool.
until this year.
Wow.
She's only just tried speed this year.
That's awesome.
On a few other things. So it's kind of crazy for her to straight go into this, and you kind of feel she could get better.
That's awesome. God, I wonder how she feels after this experience. If she's it'd be actually super cool to hear from her. Actually, first time experience and just breaking a record.
No, it's mad, isn't it? Let me try.
Or that last section when you came through the finish gates and then lay down the sail. Is that actually? Is it? I mean, when you lay down a sail in super flat water, it's not too hard because you can engage rail in a smooth section of water. But when you're going that fast with that much chop, is it actually hard to lay down, or is it not too bad?
It's actually pretty fun, to be fair.
Okay, so it's not actually too sketchy where you feel like you could sort of skip out or spin out.
The worst bit is when you come back round, like almost like the top turn. So you do the bottom turn, which feels pretty safe for me anyway. And then as you're kind of turning back, you can then skid out and kind of crash. But I'm kind of used to laying down the sail. There's a few guys, Mark Grinnell, who are not quite used to laying down the sail, and then it becomes a bit more sketchy. That bit from there coming back from now kind of gets a bit funky. Sometimes I've actually gone all the way around like 360 because I just couldn't get it back round, and then you get this big backwind kind of craziness, or you try and fall in, and you don't want to spend too much time in that area because you've got other people coming. That can also be a bit of a mission.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to tell from this video because it is obviously a bit far away. But when they're cutting in to this little section here, it definitely looks a fair bit flatter in there, doesn't it? It's a good call to do that.
Yeah. So Simon, I'm just messaging, but the message isn't going through.
Okay.
Just having an update from Francois. Says the angle has changed. So guys are going out again. Let's see. So there are guys going back on the channel. The angle has changed, so we could be in for a bit more action by the looks of it.
Oh, okay. When the wind is the wind increased again, or is it dropped, as Antoine said?
Well, if the angle's changed, that can be a kind of enough.
I see. Okay, it's changed for the better, has it? Okay, cool.
Let me just.
Is it somewhere that you'd like to? Is it kind of addictive when you go down those speed runs, Benny? Would you like to go again, or? Yeah,
definitely. I've got some unfinished business. When I was there, I'd literally just come back from my Liz Frank injury, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And hang on, I'm just going to tell him we're still live.
Looking at some of the comments here. This is a good question, actually. Maybe you've already answered this. Danny's asking, how long is the course in total?
Well, good question. I mean, you've got between the sticks is obviously 500 meters. And then you've got the starting bit, which is, I mean, you can look at it yourself. Is it what's that, 100 meters?
I've got no idea.
And then maybe another 100 meters around the corner.
How hard is it to jump?
700.
700. How hard is it to beach start a speedboard and jump?
Not easy. You'll be surprised at how hard. And it's not just the actual beach starting of the speedboard. It's the fact that in that first start area, it's absolutely cranking. And it tries to backwind you. And you get these big gusts coming through. You can't see them coming because you've got no water upwind of you to see the gust. So it is bloody tricky, and it's muddy. So it's not like it's not like the floor is solid and you've got this easy takeoff. It's kind of muddy and a bit squirmy, so it's not easy.
So maybe
I got a video. Hang on, just 2 secs. Got a video coming through. Interview with Caro von Tonde.
Ooh, okay.
Caro, what are you? Let's have a look. See what she's had to say.
Drum roll.
Oh man, it's a dream of a day for me. I worked so hard for today, and it finally paid off. So I'm so stoked. I broke the SA record solidly, like 46.12 knots. Still need to be ratified, but that is a dream come true for me. Absolutely, I milked it today, gave it my all, and I'm so stoked.
Yeah, thanks. Congratulations, and keep pushing, huh?
Thanks, eh?
That's epic.
Oh, that's cool.
And she's had some big injuries. She's come back from that. So really cool. And she smashed it. 46. I think, what was it before? Was it 44? Or is that me making it up? I seem to remember.
That's all. Look at the smile on her face. They're all so happy today. Yeah, you do see images of the channel where they don't look all that happy because of whatever's happening that day. But today is a happy day. That's awesome.
I'm just sending Francois the live link. Maybe we're going to get a bit of a live feed. Let's see what we can get. Like I said, I wasn't sure the internet was good enough, but
I'm impressed with your production values today, Benny. Really making it work.
Well, let's actually we should really get the live speeds for people who are just tuning in. Let me just put those live speeds up as well.
Phil, Jenna's previous best 500 meters on the GPS was 39.37 at West Kirby in August this year. To go to 47 plus is a massive jump when you consider the sail tuning and fin selection, etc. Steep learning curve. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Her previous best was 39 knots, and now she's gone 47 plus.
Yeah. I mean, what you got to remember, Luderitz is quick. Like I was the same. My fastest before I went to Luderitz was West Kirby, which was like a max in Kirby of 42. And it wasn't the best day, but it felt like I was about to die. I was like, how am I going to go from a 42 max to what I had in my head? I didn't tell people, but I wanted to do 50. Obviously, that's because it's just such a big, solid number. And again, I wasn't that bothered about the 500 for me. That was kind of like no chance. I didn't even put myself in there, but I thought maybe I could peak it. And halfway through that whole thing, when I was there, I was thinking, there's no chance, it's not going to happen. Couldn't get it. And then we had the one day, which was all right. A few guys went over 50, over 500. And then I finally, by the end of that day, as I've told the story before, but we were meant to go the day before, but then the next day, everyone was like, I think the next day is going to be better, Ben. You've got to stay. We're like, yeah, but we've got to get the flight tomorrow. That night or the next morning, whatever it was. So we have to drive 13, 14 hours straight. We were like, fuck it. We haven't come here to leave before the day where you can potentially do it. And then obviously I did 49 on the watch. I did 49.92, I think, or 98. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to live with this if I have to leave on that? And I did one more run and then I did the 51.
That's right. Yeah. Like, oh. It's amazing. That's cool. That's super impressive, Ben, to go that far. I mean, that's really fast. Only a few knots off the world record. Or, you know what I mean? It's
but that's just a peak. You got to remember.
No, I get that, but just the fact that you were even able to get that fast is still pretty cool.
But the scary thing is, Albeau is doing his peak, which is nearly sort of 4 and a bit knots. Is it 4 and a bit knots or 5 knots faster than me?
Yeah, sure, but
that's ridiculous.
But he's double the size of you as well.
Yeah, I know. But it is really addictive when you're there, especially. You are like, I am just going to come back. The problem I see is, and I've talked about this before, is like if you live somewhere where the wave sailing is amazing, and then that becomes the norm. So let's say you go to Luderitz and you've been busting out 50s. Then when you go and do some speed somewhere else, you're like, oh, only 44, which is freaking quick, or only 42 or only 39 or whatever. But
Well,
then you've got to set it for destination, and that goes back to the GPS stuff. You know, you have to have destination speeds, sail size, boards, different things. You've got to kind of have these different categories that you give yourself. Otherwise, if you just, you know, kind of set yourself on this ultimate big speed, I think you can kind of burn you out. You're just like, well, there's no point doing anything until I go back to Luderitz.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a question for you though, actually. So just to get an understanding of how much faster Luderitz is for you. I mean, I don't know what an average sailor is these days. Sometimes it can be a bit of a warped idea, but let's just say you're at a level with windsurfing that you're comfortably in the foot straps. You're going back and forth. You know what I mean? Like you're that level sailor. You're very comfortable at handling, say, 30 knots of wind, and you can go back and forth, and you might only use wave boards or free ride gear, that sort of thing. For someone at that level, right, they're not pro level or anything like that. If you just took them to Luderitz, stuck them on a decent sail, decent board, how fast do you think they, you know, realistically someone of that sort of ability could go?
Maybe I'm doing them a disservice here, but I would say that's, you know, what we saw with the Senegal record. You know, Mo's not really a speed sailor. He's obviously got Antoine Albeau's gear, so you could say it's the best gear in the world. He's got a good caddy to tell him what to do and all that sort of stuff. I don't think he would class himself as a speed sailor, and he did a 42 something, I think. And correct me if I'm wrong. If I've got that wrong, please let me know in the comments if that's not right. But I would say, you know, and it depends. Some people are just quicker than other people. I've never been a quick sailor. I've never been a fast sailor. There's got friends of mine that they don't seem to do anything. They just go quicker. They just go quick. And you're like, wow. But sailing in the channel, there's other things at play here, you know. But I would say you're going to do over 40 knots. That's for sure, which over 40 knots is fast. Okay.
So you think, for a lot of people, 40 knots would be fairly... Okay.
Yeah, I think if you're first going there, has never done any racing, slalom, or anything like this, I think you could set yourself a 40 knot. You know, that would be your first big, you know, one, I would say.
Yeah. It's funny. I've got a mate. So somebody, I think it was a Fred or someone, wrote a comment earlier on about a spot called Primby. It's a lake on the eastern Australia, and it's very shallow and has some weed and so forth. So when it gets windy, the water stays really flat. And my friend George, who's super keen windsurfer, but he's mainly into wave sailing, but he lives near that lake, and when it gets super windy and there's nothing else to do, he'll just take his wave board. Well, I think he's bought now a speed board or some kind of slalom board, but back when I was there, he would take his single speed wave board and his 5-batten wave sail and just see how fast he could go on it. And I think he was actually hitting speeds of he was hitting speeds of like 38 knots.
38?
Yeah, mate.
On a waveboard?
Yep, a single fin.
Wow.
Yeah, and on that, I was out there that day too, and he lent me a single fin waveboard. But I think the board he lent me, it was like this. It was a bit more rocketed. It had this really kind of pinnish.
I was going to say it depends. Like there's some old school waveboards that would be very fast.
Oh, for sure. Like I don't know what it was. It certainly wasn't anything free ridey or free wavy. It was kind of like an older style waveboard. But anyway, on that day, he lent me his GPS watch, and I was out there at the same time as him. And I think the fastest I could get to was 32 to 33 knots, because the board I was on, it hit this wall. That when I did 32, the thing just literally started getting so dicey on the tail. I just lost all confidence that the board wasn't going to sketch out. But anyway, I just remember thinking, God, if he's on 38 knots on a single fin waveboard, I'd love to see him at Luderitz on a good board. Or
he could for sure. Like I said, I don't want to do anyone at Luderitz a disservice, so I don't want to say, he would get this speed, because it was that easy. But there's definitely guys out there that could do some serious speed, like serious. Like it's scary. Luderitz is definitely the place. I'm just thinking, when I made my first Idiot's Guide to Speed video, I went to West Kirby. my first time on a speedboard with a sail, and I also tried out a wave board. And I was just thinking, what speed did I do there? I'm guessing it was 30. I'd have to have a look, but it definitely was. I'm gonna have a little quick check just while we're chatting, just out of interest. Just that I took my waveboard for my quad fin waveboard. In this first video, I just can't remember what speed I went. I'm just interested while we're on it, while we've got killing a bit of time.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because for anyone out there who rides mainly waveboards, you're listening to this, you think, if you're out there and you're trying to, how sometimes you go sailing with your mates in wave gear and your mate's next to you and you have a bit of a drag race, or, you're just trying to, and so you're literally trying to do whatever you can to maximize the speed, just hanging out, unweighting yourself, or just trimming the sails best you can and whatever. And I remember once I did have a GPS thing. I think I borrowed my mate's thing, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to go as fast as I can on my quad in the ocean. Obviously it's rolling swells and chops and the whole thing. And I think I was literally, the fastest I could go was, it was like 25, 26 knots or something. The thing is, you're literally pushing it as hard as you can. Like, you're thinking, I can't really get much more out of this. And you feel like you're kind of going fast, even though you're not, because you're on a wave gear and the whole thing. But it's interesting, isn't it? I don't know. I just found that interesting. Like, a lot of the time when you're just very casually planing around and not pushing it, you're doing 22 knots or 23, like that kind of speed on a wave gear. And the record here is 53.
Yeah,
it's 30 knots more. It's
bonkers, really.
Yeah, I know. Well, computer is saying quads are the slowest I can think of, and obviously it is. You're not going to get a much slower board than that, but it's just the sense of speed. Like, when you're on it and you're moving around in wind, you feel like you're moving around. Actually, also, someone's written a comment here. Wade said, I thought Kai Lenny would be somebody who'd be into speed sailing, which brings up the question. I asked, slalom sailors, but out of all the wave sailers out there, if you had to pick one that you'd like to see have a crack on the channel,
Ricardo.
Think of anyone? That's true, actually.
No, man, he's quick.
Ricardo, if you're listening.
Polito as well.
So you're not just joking. Like, Ricardo actually.
He's quick, man. He's quick. I remember from Supercross. I'm just thinking of the fast guys in Supercross. Ooh. Ricardo's quick. Like, he sails fast. I'm sure he'd do over 50.
Oh, cool. That'd be sick. I would love to see that.
It would be good to do an invitational just for promo. Imagine Lenny doing it just with his audience.
Well, this is the thing too. You could have these matchups, like just getting people that you just no idea, Lenny versus Ricardo, and that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Just to see who would actually win or whatever, or
Golito's quick. Golito's quick. There's a few of them that have just got natural speed. And when I said Bruno before, obviously there's a whole load of other riders as well, but he's the one that definitely stands out. And when he did a bit of speed in the south of France, he was quick. Obviously, Matteo Iachino quick as well. Mortafon, obviously all the top guys are quick. But I'm just surprised no one has wanted to do that. I don't know if they're like, oh yeah, I'll do it later. But I would have thought just to see. You like, I would be curious if I was that quick. Like when I was speaking to Bruno in the IFCA stuff in Denmark, some of his speeds on the big stuff was kind of ridiculously crazy. Jordi Vonk as well. Another guy on the big stuff who's quick. It's like, I'm surprised not one of them have gone, you know what? I'm really keen to see what's possible. Because all of them obviously I think will go straight over 50 knots. I don't think the 50 knot thing is not a thing. I don't think for those guys. They're going over 50. Cedric Board's done it. He's one of the quick guys on the tour as well, one of the older crew now, and he went over 50 when he did it, and maybe he didn't get the best days, but he went over really quick. So I'm no doubt those guys will go over 50. You need to get the right day. You need to have all the things right. You need some gear. But, you know, some of the production gear now, Antoine already proved that the production JP is quick. When I did my stuff, I was on the production Simmer one, which was an AV design, you know, which is now his own brand now called AV. But the Simmer board was designed by Aurelio. So, you know, the Simmer board, the Speed Demon's quick, the AV board's quick, which is what Brendan's on. Brendan's on an AV production 40, which is probably similar to that Simmer Speed Demon. So there is production boards out there that are quick. I know the old Mistral is quick. I think I saw maybe Simon Pettifer on the old Mistral. But like I said, the JP's got a good reputation as well, which is what Albeau was on. So, you know, there is quick production gear. Sale-wise, yeah, as long as it's got a semi, you know, big loft tube by the sounds of it, it's, you know, and they've done a bit of work with the speed stuff, which I'm sure the Pride is good enough. So, you know, Bruno Martini could probably just rock up there with production stuff and have a solid chance of putting down some big speeds.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Jups is here is saying pop on the Primby film. I'll just play while we're chatting. I can. Where is it?
No music.
No. I'll turn the music off. Don't worry. Unless there's anything happening on the ditch, or
no, it doesn't seem to. I just refreshed, but no big speeds coming at the moment.
This is the spot that I was.
Is this the spot with the grass?
Hold on, let me see if I can reduce the quality. It's a bit. Let's see if that helps at all. A bit hard, isn't it, to get everything working?
Has that got a million yet?
No, this is the number 2 one. This is up to 200,000 views. The other one's up to about 750,000, the original one, which is.
I feel like that's going to be your first millionaire.
Yeah, it's sort of slowed down a lot though. But this spot here is actually about an hour, a bit over an hour's drive from Sydney.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, what's happening?
Got Mr. Brendan.
Oh, let's go.
Stop that. Hey, how we doing, man? We're just going to stick you on the main screen. Yo, can you hear us?
Yeah.
In the
I can hear
50
you, yeah.
Club.
Finally, yeah. There's so much to get today. It's amazing.
Give me what gear you're on. Give me your peak speeds. Give me your GPS data. Give me everything you got.
So right now I used a different board than last time. So I have the 38 AV board and the 0.7 production sail, and then I'm using the
wide.
38. Yeah, so it's smaller than the last time. And then I have the 18 chopper fin on the board. So the smallest gear I can have, and right now the wind dropped a tiny bit, and we're waiting for the wind to pick up again.
Well, good job, man. I mean, in the 50 knot club, I think I'm right in saying you're the lightest rider in the 50 knot club.
Probably, yeah, I think so. And the GPS, don't know. No, it's gonna be backwards. But I managed to do a max speed on this watch at 52.98.
Sick.
Wow.
And my 2 second at 52.34. So, yeah.
Wow.
Brendan, I've never met you before. It's Paul here, mate. But how does it feel going 50 knots down that channel, mate? We were just discussing. I think the fastest I've been on a windsurfer is 33 knots or something like that. But what's it actually like going 50 knots down there? Nope.
How everyone say going 50 knots in the channel is like going 45 knots or 40 knots on or sea or things like that, because it's so flat. It was choppy in the end, but then there was just a magic moment. I think we had 4 runs in a row where Antoine has his potential world record. And I did my run with the 50 knots. And then Gunnar, I think he has a potential German record to run right after. So it was really a half an hour of just perfect and flat conditions.
How much weight are you
I'm
carrying?
really happy to have been at that moment on that one.
Wow, cool, man.
12 on right now, 12 kilos.
12
on.
kilos. Okay. The connection is not great.
It's a lot. I feel it right now, but
So, Brendan, is this something that you
Yeah,
want
well,
to do a lot more?
It's-
Sorry, is this something you want to do a lot more of? Oh,
speed surfing, yeah. But
yeah.
my dream goal now would try to get the 51 on 500, which will be quite complicated because pushing to 50 is complicated, and now 51 is on like the next step for me and for my weight and size. So that'll be the next goal for Luderitz. But if that can't happen, I'll always have a new challenge for next year or the coming years. So yeah, really happy.
Nice, man.
But then on the GPS speed from Manfred's watch, I'm at 50.69. So yeah, so I think when it gets rectified, it'll be in the 50 knots, which I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah, good job, man. I'm proud. I'm proud. This is coming from an under 80. Well, I say under 80. I'm not even under 80 anymore. But I like identify myself as an under 80 kilo sailor.
Yeah, I think it's good to have that weight category. Well, what size sail are you on, Brendan?
I have the 50.7 production sail.
Oh, wow.
50 speed sail.
That's a pretty big sail. I mean, Antoine's
It's,
using a 5.3.
He used the 5.3 this morning, but on his potential world record run, he was on 5.7. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was testing the 5.3 in the morning and switched to the 5.7 when the wind kicked in. I think he was on 5.7. I haven't
5.3,
checked
so
what's.
I think you said 5.3.
Yeah, that's what I thought he said too.
So if he's on,
Hey, Sinclair.
I think then if he's on 5.3, then I've missed read the number on his sail. Oh, if he's on 5.3, then he was on 5.3. Yeah, I have to go check. I think it's still rigged. So
How's it looking for the rest of today? Do you think it's going to happen?
today I don't think so, but tomorrow the angle looks better than today, and it's even windier. So hopefully we can get some even better speeds tomorrow.
Okay.
60 knots.
That'll be complicated. But then 60 knots in wind will be. It's not the easiest to sail in down the channel.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thanks for. I was going to say thanks for joining us. We'll let you go, and massive congratulations. You're my new hero.
But just quickly before you go, but Brendan, before you go, whereabouts are you from?
France.
So, whereabouts in France?
I was La Tranche.
Oh,
so
is there
yeah. So you see where Antoine lives? I'm like on the opposite side of where he lives in France.
Ah, okay.
So he lives on the island, and I live. I think it's quicker. It's like half an hour windsurfing. Quicker windsurfing there than by car.
Ah, wow.
So, yeah.
So
on the west coast.
A good area for making speed sailors by the looks of it.
But then on the rest of the year, I'm in Holland.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah. So where all the speed spots are in Holland, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, okay. Well, good to meet you, Brendan, and well done, mate. It's been awesome to
Thank you very much.
To watch all you guys. Super cool. Looks like you're having a good time. A lot of smiley faces today, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everyone's having a great time. Now the wind's dropped a bit. I think people are just doing a few test runs. I think I was doing a few test runs right before I stopped. And I think if the wind picks up again, I'll go out again and try to beat my record. But yeah.
Well,
cool, man.
I just want to say I'll be waiting for you at the Portuguese National Slalom Championships.
Can't wait. And I'll race without the weight jacket, so it's more fair.
All right, dude.
I can't wait to
Awesome.
go back to the Portuguese National Championship. Yeah.
I'm going to be putting on the pounds, mate. But yeah, good. Congratulations. We're going to be tuning in, watching the speeds come through. Good luck. 41
Thank
is
you.
the next target. Good luck with that.
41.
51.
51.
51. Well, 41, you know, you can pretty much smash that.
Thank you,
Oh,
though.
dude.
Thank you
See
for
you in a
having me.
bit. No worries.
See you.
See you, Brendan.
See you, man.
See you, mate. God, I love this ability to chat to everyone down there. It's super cool.
Yeah, that was not as easy though, was it? Like the Albeau connection was kind of like seamless. That was kind of amazing. But I know what it's like. And that's the problem with doing live stream from over there. The signal is in and out all over the place. But yeah, Brendan Loo there, the fastest under 80 kilo rider in the world.
What is it with the French? The French just seem to pump out fast sailors, don't they?
Yeah, there's a big scene, you know, and I think when you're racing against other people of similar level or similar ages, it pushes that level up, you know, that big one-upmanship all the time, you know. So I think, you know, and you see it with the young groups where we were talking to like Morgan Nareau and all those crew, and it was like Kai, Lenny, Bernd Rodiger, they all grew up together, you know, so and you can see when you get those generations where those young kids are growing up together, that's usually what forces it up. And you see it with siblings as well, you know, Morenos, Pritchards, when you've got that other person in close kind of competitiveness, sort of that
Pushes
kind
you.
of pushes up. You see it in sport a lot with brothers and sisters.
Did you have anybody that you sailed with that pushed you, Benny?
No, I'm all self-motivated.
You're a self-made man.
I'm a self-made man. I just didn't want to get a proper
Wow, that's
job.
incredible.
That was my motivation. I'm like, come on. I still don't know what I want to do. Like, I was always asked that question, and I really didn't really have a clue. And I still don't have a clue, really. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing now. I'm 46 and got maybe another kid on the way. I'm like,
I saw that there's this funny cartoon I saw. You know how there's like the saying, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up? But this one said, they had these two kids talking to each other, and the one says, what do you want to do when you give up? I thought I kind of like that. I kind of like that one. I thought it was cool. But anyway, no, I think you're doing pretty good, Benny. You're living the dream, mate. Here we are, sitting in our homes, chatting with people in Luderitz, the speed runs. What more would you want to be doing? This is pretty cool.
Yes,
huh?
I'm meant to be making Sunday right now, but it sounds like I don't think we're going to get much more wind today. It looks like tomorrow's another day, so I think we can call it there. Well, it's 2 hours, so I just want to say massive thanks for everyone who's tuning in, and then congratulations to all the guys today. For anyone who's tuned in at the end of this is a monumental day. This is a day that's going to go down in history, because all 6 riders on the water today did a PB, a national record, or a world record. So we've got the men's and the women's, well, the fastest man and the fastest woman in the world has happened today. Potentially, it looks like it's going to happen. But Antoine Albeau, 53.64. We've got to check with the video referee in. And Jenna Gibson, 47.65. We just spoke to Brendan Loo, who has got his fastest ever speed and one of the lightest rider, or the lightest rider to ever go over 50 knots, or maybe the first rider under 80 kilos to join that 50 knot club. So that's impressive. Gunnar Asmussen, potentially a German national record, 52.83. We've got Caro with a South African record, 46.12. Really big speed for her, looking for that. And then Simon Pettifer broke 49 knots today and went over 50 on the GPS, personal best for him. So everyone is super happy over in Luderitz. So really cool to get those interviews with Albeau as well, speak to Brendan and get all the stuff from Francois, who's been, sending the videos through. So pretty solid day on the water. And tomorrow looks like they could be getting exactly the same. So who knows? Albeau seems keen to do that 100 kilometers an hour, which is 54 knots. Can he do it? we'll have to.
I'm just looking at if you look at Gunner's runs there, they're all over 50 knots except for the last one. But that's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane, isn't it?
Every single run is over 50.
That's insane. You're right. I actually never really seen that before.
That's crazy. I mean,
Consistency.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow, well done to him.
Yeah.
Oh well, thanks for letting me join in, Benny. I know I'm not
thanks for joining in.
as good as Waggy. Waggy was a knowledge base on speed, but anyway, I learned something. Hopefully, somebody else out there did too.
Well, hang on a minute.
What's happening?
Hang on a minute. We've got a little interview. We got a little interview coming up before we go. Anyone who left early, they're going to miss out. I've just got a GPS picture actually from Brendan as well. 52.98 on the max. Wow.
Okay.
And his 10 second was 51.54. So potentially he can go over that because that's about.
That was Brendan.
Yeah. And then we've got interview with Mr. Pettifer. Let's see what Sai had to say.
He was a cool kid, Brendan, wasn't he?
Amazing day, super special, 4 PBs. Wind picked up again, got down to the 5.0 today, so we're topped out at. I got a 49 knot 500, which I'm over the moon at. I got a 50.3 2 seconds, so I guess that makes me a member of the 50 knot club, sort of. So I'm very happy, really happy, amazing.
Super, congratulations, Simon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
There we go.
He looks a bit like Antoine, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, look at his nose. He took a big hit to that. Jesus Christ.
He's earned his speed out there. That's awesome, isn't he? He's stoked.
And that's good. That's pretty epic. That's pretty epic. What a day. Good job, boys. That is Send It Sunday right there. Am I going to be able to do a proper Send It Sunday? We'll have to see. Well, actually, this is a proper Send It Sunday. I mean, surely. You don't get really better than that with everyone just smashing it. So, yeah, thanks again. Maybe I go live tomorrow. If it looks like we're going to see some records, I might have to get on the live if people are keen. And if Francois's got the energy to be putting in the videos, because it does make the difference, you know, that little bit of connection, you know, do we need constant live stream? Well, it would be nice, but it's not the end of the world if we don't get it. But those little interviews, those little moments of joy and stuff coming through, I think it's pretty cool for the hardcore amongst us to tune in for. So thanks to Paul for tuning in. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Always good to have a chat. It's a bit like a podcast, which I'm always into. Should we put it on the podcast channel?
That's all right. This is good.
All right. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, man. See you guys.
See you in a bit.
Bye.